everyone, this is Wilhelmina again. I think you missed Wilhelmina for a few weeks. Wilhelmina wasn't be able to be live due to pandemic as well, and I'm also busy interviewing buyers securing gold and rough diamond. Now, there's a lot of people asking why they couldn't find a supplier. As you know that Africa is the main source of gold and rough diamond. I just found out that Switzerland, they are buying gold and diamond and cocoa in Africa. I was watching the live interview of a Swiss ambassador that their product like chocolate made of Switzerland or gold, it's coming from Africa. I was amazed that Africa is the main source of raw materials. I was watching on the interview the Swiss ambassador. I was amazed that people doesn't believe Africa. Well, I've been to Africa. There's a lot of foreigners running around searching for supply, searching for raw materials for their business. Now, out of 600 I interviewed in the past 3 weeks, only 3 are qualified to secure gold and diamond. I was amazed. These buyers thinking that they underestimate Africa. Guys, do not underestimate Africa. I've been to Africa before lockdown. My transaction was really successful. Never underestimate. Africa is a 54 state, 54 country, spreading big continent of Africa, like Mali, Sierra Leone, Ghana, Conakry, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Mozambique, Tanzania, Togo, Burkina Faso, Abidjan, and so forth. Every country have a deposit of natural resources. Now, I'm talking about my seller. I'm talking about Conakry, Mali, and Sierra Leone. Now, as you know that you are hungry at the moment, you are hungry of raw materials for your business, and you've been running around comparing prices to prices, talking to different group on Facebook and on YouTube. Only Wilhelmina put everything online. There was a guy from United States just last night, and he said to me, I was talking to a person in Sierra Leone, and he was being offered very cheap price, and he was searching about Sierra Leone, and my video popped up into his screen. So I was talking to him, 30 minutes of my conversation, and I told him, how did you find me? Well, Amina, I was talking to a person in Sierra Leone. I was offered very cheap. I said, really? And I want to invest in gold. I said, okay. And to be honest with you, I asked this gentleman, I'm not going to mention his name so that he would not be embarrassed. He's just starting, and he said he was offered $30,000. Okay. And I told him, okay, you were being offered 30,000. Why you want to buy gold? What is the purpose? And he said, oh, I'm going to sell it. Oh, where? In United States. All right. And I told him, you do your homework. Don't let anyone deceive you, because you are buying money to make money. And I told this gentleman, just a moment, someone is giving. Donald, good evening, Donald. Yes, I'm back, Donald. Donald is a friend of mine from Botswana. Thank you for liking on my nephew's church wedding a few minutes ago. I saw it that you you've been visiting. But anyway, this gentleman is from California, and he has a partner. He used to live in Brisbane, and he returned back to United States. And you know what this gentleman was saying? You are the only person, Wilhelmina, that put everything online, and you're not scared to put everything, and you're not scared to show your face. I said, why I'm gonna be scared for? I am here to tell the world that Africa is the main source. Isn't it, Donald? Hmm. Donald is from Botswana. They have gold and diamond, but you will never get diamond and gold in Botswana because it's already pre-sold. Yeah? Now, I'm talking about my cellar in Conakry and Sierra Leone. So that you guys would not be deceived. Now, the full corporate offer is already on this video. If you are a buyer, read it first. Don't rush, because this is not a rush business. This is not. This is money you are buying to make money. You're buying money to make money. Now, let's talk about what is the difference between 22 carats and 24 carats. The 22 carat is a raw materials, which is unrefined. The 24 carat, which is 99.99, already refined. Most of this broker joker, I call them joker because you are not trading. If you are not trading, I call you joker because everything now is online, and no such broker putting her face or his face online. I'm talking to you in front of you, right? And why you cannot comprehend? I put this one just like an elementary. If you are a buyer, take time to read, take time to digest, read thorough. Those buyers mandate or joker buyer or dodgy buyer asking for CIF. Don't you know to mine gold is not easy? Don't you know to hire the workers to work on mines is not easy either? The seller are paying the wages. The seller is remitting the royalty to his country. That is why they want to export it, because they have the license to mine. They want to export it outside Africa. Then they asked Wilhelmina to handle it. Wilhelmina was hired by the seller to market it. That's why you found Wilhelmina on YouTube and on Facebook. I put everything, the video, the available kilos. We have tons of gold. But my question is, how are you able to pay? Now let's talk about the difference between gold and diamond. When you refine the gold, they will remove the three elements like magnesium, lead, and silver. They will remove it and refine it into 99.99, or they're gonna refine it into jewelry, or they're gonna make it into industrials. So I don't need to explain because everything is on this video. Now, Mali and Sierra Leone and Conakry are the best place to travel. Conakry have 1.8 tons of gold. At the moment, Conakry is run by a family. They mine the gold, they have 7 to 8 concessions. Now, if you watch the video that I have presented while I was there, I think 2019 or 2020, because I traveled in Conakry several times. I done my presentation in order to tell the world that my seller is real. Mineral Consulting Group of company based in Conakry. And there's one of those broker, Wilhelmina. I'm searching about Mineral Consulting Group of company. I couldn't find it on the internet. I told this broker, my seller, remove them because there's so many joker broker. They spoil the name. You would never find my seller online. You would never find my seller on the internet. You will find it through Wilhelmina. Why? Wilhelmina was on this country. I was in Conakry, I was in Sierra Leone, right? And I about to pay to travel to Mali because I want to travel before lockdown. So accidentally, I have to return back to Australia before the lockdown. So my next trip is in Mali. Now let's talk about Conakry first, one by one. In Conakry, when you buy gold, you have to send a letter of intent to purchase coming from you as a buyer. Now, Wilhelmina will validate you. Wilhelmina will screen you because I'm gonna ask you when you come to to Wilhelmina, either Skype or WhatsApp. My first question: how did you found me? And you're gonna say, Wilhelmina, I found you on YouTube and on Facebook. My second question would be, did you read it? Not really. Go back and read again. So then I can determine that you are not a buyer. Yeah, you're not really a buyer. Because if you're a buyer, you would not ask question because all question and answer is already on every video, every pages. I put everything, but you are not paying attention. That is the reason why you're scared with Wilhelmina. You don't need to be scared. You don't need to be annoyed. Be thankful that you found Wilhelmina on Facebook. Facebook, there are 6.6 billion followers. There's so many buyers on Facebook. I'm telling you, so many. But you cannot find a buyer unless you are transparent. Because all of our buyers coming from YouTube and on Facebook. They don't have any issue because they read the full corporate offer. Now, to buy gold, you are buying raw materials for your business. You convert that into different uses. Now, the price of gold today is 55,776, almost 56. Few weeks ago, the gold was down. Now it bounced back again and regain again. The price is getting back to higher. So that is refined. On the world market is 55,077.46 per kilo. Now you are buying from us, from my seller, raw materials. We will give you less discount LBMA, LBME, London price. Now if you're gonna buy refined gold, you can buy that in the bank or the refinery. They will charge you 1.5% less discount on refined. Now you're buying unrefined will give you less discount as well in order for you to get the profit. Now, I will use my calculator so that you will understand. The price of gold today is 55,077.46. When you buy refined, 1.5% discount, you can buy that to the refinery or you can buy that in the bank. So that is not our responsibility. Without raw materials, there would be no gold bullion. Without raw materials, there would be no jewelry. Without raw materials, there would be no medical uses, no spare parts, no industrial spare parts. This is raw materials you're buying, right? Now our price, less 5%. This is the price of gold on the market today. We will give you less 5%. Our selling price is 51,315 per kilo. So you have a profit. You're going to have a profit of 4,462.19 per kilo. Now you're going to say, oh, Wilhelmina, too expensive. Well, you're buying expensive item. You are. So if you are dealing with so many chain of joker broker, of course, you have to pay your joker broker their job. Now, you don't need to pay joker broker anymore because we are here to do business directly to the point, directly to you, Mr. Baya. Yeah. So now, we're talking about Conakry. You read on the full corporate offer in front of you. Digest it. Then when you come and you watch the video of Mineral Consulting Group of Company, then that's the time you come to Wilhelmina. Don't be excited. Read it, digest it properly. Then when you are ready, you come back, you send your letter of intent to purchase, LOI, not cut and paste, because I am going to review it. Once I receive the LOI, letter of intent to purchase coming from you, Mr. Buyer, that you are intending to buy. LOI is not a contract. You are only stating that you are intending to buy. There, Wilhelmina, because the LOI must be addressed to Wilhelmina. Must be. Okay? Just a minute. I'm gonna, okay, just bear with me. Someone is sending me a message. Okay. Must be addressed to Wilhelmina in order for me to comprehend what are you intending to use. Because I'm going to ask you after I receive your LOI. Now, when I call you, we will discuss about your letter of intent. So now, I am going to require from you your business registration, a copy of your business registration, because you need to convince me. I already convinced you that this is how we do the exporting. The requirement is in front of you. So now, I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to ask you, Mr. Buyer, I received a letter of intent from your buyer's mandate. So you are working for your buyer or your buyer working for you to outsource supply. So your buyer's mandate, he come to Wilhelmina because I'm the only person put everything online. So he come to me, send the letter of intent. So then I will ask you, Mr. Buyer. Mr. Buyer, I received your letter of intent to buy coming from your broker. His name is Ra Ra Ra. Okay. Mr. Buyer, unfortunately, you state on your LOI CIF, cost, insurance, and freight only. We don't do CIF. We don't. We don't give our gold for nothing. So, Mr. Buyer, you can only afford to pay cost, insurance, and freight. How about paying the gold? You're buying money, Mr. Buyer. Right? So, therefore, you have to pay the money versus your paper money. Gold is solid cash. So, therefore, you have to pay for the gold based on the contract. We will do the contract after we receive your letter of intent. So I gather your business registration, a copy of your passport copy, importation license, and financial statement, your bank statement that you have $1,000,000. Let's say, I'll give you an example. You want to buy to start 500 kilos or 20 kilos. Okay, our selling price, I'm going to run off 51,000 as today. You have not signed a contract. This is only a preempt conversation. Let's say 55,000 less 8%. Okay, 55,000. Now, this is the world market, 55,777.46 less 8%, which is 51,315. I will remove the 315. You already had the profit. So, 55,000, or 51, sorry, 51,000 on 20 kilos to start with, times 20, 1,200,000. Yeah? I'm gonna ask you, Mr. Buyer, can you show me that you have 1,200,000 on 20 kilos? So if you don't have 1,200,000, why are we gonna proceed that? There is no point to proceed the conversation because you don't have cash. You're asking to leverage. So this gold business is not leveraging business. This is F.O.B. Cash business, bank to bank, because of money laundering. Now, so you sign a contract, we will stipulate the price. Assuming today, we stipulate the price on the contract, right? And we will give you a discount. So then we will send you the contract, because you already show me your business registration, importation license, passport copy, and financial statement. Don't be scared with your financial statement, because your banking details would not go to the third party. Will only goes to Wilhelmina, because Wilhelmina will be the one to validate you. Wilhelmina will be the one to advise my seller in Conakry to proceed. Then we will send you the contract, because your copy of your business registration, financial statement, I will send it to my head office that I already interview you. Let us proceed the contract. So then we will send the contract attached of my seller's mineral consulting group of company, the mining articles, export license of the seller. I think you already saw the video presentation. Then we will state your order and the price. And the mode of payment is bank to bank. So then, let's say 20 kilos, right? The 20 kilos will be reserved for your arrival, subject for your arrival, subject for your inspection. On the contract, it says subject for inspection, subject for ASI at the central bank. So you come to the office, the 20 kilos waiting for you to inspect. You bring your gold tester in order for you to make sure that you are buying 22 carats plus, which is 23, and the purity is 96. So you have to bring your own gold tester. You spend money because you are buying money in order to sell it to your own end customer. Money, this is buy and sell. So you are going to be equipped. So you need to be equipped. You cannot just depend to Wilhelmina. I'm explaining to you in advance. Yeah? So now, you inspect the gold, right? So then that is the time you make your commitment. Your down payment is not upfront. We are not asking you upfront at all. That is normal. You need to make a down payment based on $1 million, maybe 10,000, 20,000. Your commitment. So then when you make a deposit of $10,000 or $20,000, then the gold will be ASI to central bank because you are committed, ready for export. So then the gold will be ASI at the central bank. After ASI, the gold stays at the central bank. So once you pay the down payment of maybe 10 or 20,000, the balance has to be transferred to my seller's bank account. My seller's correspondence bank is New York. We will put everything on the contract, my seller's banking details, because I am collecting your banking details as well. Then we will put that on the contract. We will send you the contract. Everything is on the contract. You got my point now, Mr. Buyer, on Conakry. So there is no surprises. Now you're going to say, how much is the tax? That is a very good question. We waive the tax. The price is tax already included. But on the second shipment, we will review the price. You know how much tax to buy gold is 7%. Now let's say 51,000. 51,000 I've given you today. As today, just don't bank on it. This is only a pre-conversation. 51,000 times 7.5%. The tax of every bar is 3,825. You are a winner because we waive the tax by Wilhelmina. Wilhelmina did requested the head office to waive the tax. So you are already a winner. You get the $315, right? Profit plus $3,825 profit. We waive it. you only pay shipping cost and insurance. So on 1 million, 2% you have to pay. We will add that on the price. Let's say 51,000, okay, times 20, that is 1,200,000 times 2%, 20,400. So we will add the 20,400 into the price. We will do the breakdown. So there is no surprises. This 20,400 is for the shipping cost and insurance. And then you're gonna ask, I want to buy gold CIF. So therefore you can only afford this one. But you're buying $1 million. Right? So is that logic, Mr. Buyer? You're asking CIF cost, insurance, and freight only. So therefore you don't have the money. You're buying $1 million, 200. Right? So I'm just giving you an explanation like a grade 1. My transaction in Conakry is successful. The buyer was happy with my services. Now, Mr. Buyer, you have to read paragraph by paragraph, wording by wordings, because when Wilhelmina will travel with you, yes, I do charge my extra service to accompany you in order whatever any issue, I would be there for you. Now, the 8%, right? I will give you a surprise. I will ask my head office to give you 10%. Why? Because I'm gonna convince my seller this buyer is real. This buyer is really very serious. Let us give the buyer discount of 10%. So we will give you the price of $50,000 per kilo. So you have already a lot of profit. We waive the tax. It's already a profit. Then we waive the discount, the 315, right? 51,315. We waive the 315. That is already your profit. Yeah. Plus, you get the profit on 50,000, right? Per kilo, your profit is $5,000. So you have a lot of profit. 5,000 plus. You add that 3,000 plus. You add the 315 plus. You already had the profit. So you are getting greedy. And if you're gonna deal with so many joker broker, I'm telling you, you have to pay your joker broker. I call him joker. Why? Because they don't read. They don't read. They don't read at all. They don't digest it. They're excited to see me. So that is Conakry. Now, let's talk about Mali. Mali is the third largest gold producer in West Africa. Remember a few minutes ago I explained about Conakry? We have 1.8 tons of gold produced directly from the mine of the owner. I already explained it in Conakry, right? Now let's talk about Mali. I was talking to a lady 1 hour ago. He's from Korea. He was been searching gold for his buyer. He works for the company in Korea and their buyer is in Hong Kong. And she sent me an email. Just a moment. She sent me a chat on WhatsApp. Just bear with me. I will not mention her name so that she wouldn't be embarrassed. Okay. Okay. Now she's from Korea. This is what she sent me a message. Okay. Dear Madam, I have seen your contact on Facebook. We are a company based in Korea. Finally, buyers are looking for gold Dore bar with the condition as below and here. And delivery CIF Hong Kong Airport. Payment guarantee DLC. Prepared SBLC standard letter of credit. Will be tolerated. This is what she said. The quantity for trial is 10 kilo. 3 times 50 kilos, 100 kilos or above, more than success for 12 months. During the trial shipment, Black Fund guarantee is preparable as too small amount in order to open DLC. No fixed price, we are going to deal under the discount price. Would you be able to sell your gold to my company? Very good question. We don't deliver gold in the airport in Hong Kong. We make sure we know who is the seller and make sure who is the receiving end. So I'm going to collect your information, Mr. Buyer. This buyer agent, she doesn't know what she's talking. She's soliciting. Now, she wanted a standard letter of credit. So therefore, why you gonna ask a standard letter of credit on 10 kilos? Okay, 51,000 times 10 kilos. That is $500,000. Yeah. Why you gonna ask for standard letter of credit on $500,000? So therefore, you don't have the cash. You are going to leverage. So I told her that read first the procedure and go back to your buyer. Then we will do business. His company, okay, or her company, there were two of them searching for gold. Okay, she was dealing with other broker, and she was not satisfied with this broker, so she decided to contact me, and I told her that you have to read the procedure first. Take time to read and let your buyer understand that this is not for credit. So her buyer asking is BLC on $500,000. We don't know him. You never know this buyer is a criminal. You never know this buyer is crook. $500,000. Why you cannot afford to pay? Why? So I told her that go back to your buyer, and I want to see the company request of your buyer. Right. Before we're gonna proceed. This is Mali. She said that her buyer has an account at KMR. Now, let's talk about KMR. In Mali, there are 3 refineries. Marina, KMR, Kankamusa, and DNGM. Now, in Mali, there are 4,500 small miner, because Mali is the 3rd largest gold producer in West Africa. So they mine the gold in order to export it. They want to sell it on the right price because gold is money. Mali exported a year of 49.6 metric tons a year. I read on the history of Mali, right? Going back to Conakry, Conakry exported gold for 14 metric tons a year. So this Mali, Conakry, is not saturated. So I already explained on Conakry. So let us go to this topic on Mali. Because this buyer, this buyer's mandate, there are 2 of them, okay? This gentleman and her, I think she was not happy with the gentleman. So she searched about gold on Mali, and my video popped up into her screen. So she sent me the message. Remember, I read the message, but I will not mention her name so that she would not be embarrassed. The company based in Korea, and they have buyer in Hong Kong. So she said that they have an account on KMR. I said, okay. Can you show me your account number of KMR for me to believe that you have an account? Because sometimes you're going to sell the gold to KMR, and my seller would not deal KMR. So I told her that it's better to deal with DNGM. You don't have any issue because DNGM is a government refinery. So I've given her the video about Mali. I told her that out of that video on Mali, you will see the DNGM. And she visited my page on Mali. She saw the DNGM refinery. And I told her that we have tons of gold in Mali. I just have a contract of 2.5 tons of gold, the buyer from United States. And we just deliver the gold last year in Turkey, 1 ton. February 15, we delivered 200 kilos of gold in Dubai, F.O.B. We don't deal CIF. This is what I told her. So I told her that go back to your buyer and discuss with your buyer, because she's the only one can speak English in the company. So I think she's interpreter. So I told her, you educate your buyer that there is no way you can get gold in Africa, CIF. So therefore, you are going to leverage. You're going to launder. So most of you are launderer. Most of the buyer asking is BLC, asking CIF. You are going to launder. Now, is BLC means you are going to use the contract to bring it to your bank to borrow money. And the bank will scrutinize you, and the bank will ask you the SKR. The bank will ask you a lot of information of my seller. I don't have any problem giving that information. I don't have any problem releasing SKR, but I would not release the SKR to any broker, because SKR is a security deposit of the seller. Those people asking SKR are very tricky. Some of them are criminals. Some of them are launderer. We don't release the SKR. I have the SKR. I would not release any SKR to any broker unless we know who is the buyer, unless we know that the buyer is serious, unless the buyer provide his bank statement that he has $1 million. Then we will attach the SKR on the contract. So this buyer are very tricky, this Korean buyer. So, Mr. Buyer, you are watching me live about how you are able to secure gold. Very simple, Mr. Buyer. Very easy and simple if you have the cash. It would be very difficult to secure if you don't have the cash. I do understand there's so many buyer has been duped. I do understand. And even in Ghana, Ghana is a good country. They are also producing gold, but they are getting notorious because gold is money. The small miners want to sell it on the right price. I've been to Ghana, but I would not touch Ghana. I prepare you, Mr. Buyer, to come with Wilhelmina, either in Conakry, in Mali, and Sierra Leone. Now, I just closed the deal, 2.5 tons of gold in Mali. The buyer from United States. Now, in every rule, there is always an exception. I have the buyer wanting to use Conakry. KMR. We consider this buyer to use KMR because he showed us his proof of fund. He showed us his application of KMR that he is going to refine the gold only to KMR in order for the 2.5 tons to ship it to United States, because in that particular country, the tax is high as well. So in order to reduce the taxes, we consider to bring the gold to KMR, but he is going to pay 40%. He is paying cash. So we consider that. So as I've said, in every rules there is an exception. It took me 3 months to do this contract, back and forth, back and forth. So every day is a learning process of mine. So I am sharing you, but this buyer is an exceptional. So not all of you can be accepted on KMR. I prepare you guys to deal with DNGM is more quicker. But this buyer particular that 2.5 tons, he was being considered because of Wilhelmina. So you don't need to be scared with Wilhelmina because Wilhelmina is really very, very tough and very brutal if you don't meet the criteria. Now, let's touch Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone, they have also gold and diamond. I've been to Sierra Leone last year. So do not travel if you don't have enough cash. Do not. So that you will not be trapped into disaster. Whether you come to Ghana, Conakry, Mali, or Sierra Leone, always have a standby available fund in your bank account. Because the seller in any particular African country would not accept credit. This is always bank-to-bank payment because of money laundering. Now, let's talk about Sierra Leone. Now, if you're going to buy gold in Sierra Leone, on Sierra Leone page, I think I put the requirement on every country. Now, Sierra Leone have a different policy. Different. They're more strict because Sierra Leone is losing income because there's so many crook seller. There's also crook buyer. Seller and buyer trying to smuggle their gold for not declaring to their government to pay taxes. There is always valued added tax. Now, most of the buyers are crook. Excuse my language. Why you are crook? You're asking CIF, so therefore you're crook. Because CIF cost insurance and freight only. You cannot afford to pay the gold. So therefore, you are a category of crook. In Sierra Leone, you will never get gold if you don't pay to the seller, to the owner, in order to reflect the cash inflow. So the requirement of Sierra Leone is completely different requirement to Conakry and Mali. Now, buying diamond, I was there in the office of the exporter. You have to inspect the diamond before you're gonna pay. So you need to make a deposit as well. That's not upfront, but when you make a deposit, do not lie that you're gonna say, "Oh, can I have a CIF?" You're gonna fail. There was a buyer fail. Why not be transparent, Mr. Buyer? Why not tell the truth? Before you travel with me, you need to tell me, Wilhelmina, this is my money. I have only 50,000. I'm going to stop you. No need to travel. Because I am charging you to accompany you in order that you're going to be guided. But if you cut corner, you're going to fail. There is an issue here. There would be an issue here. Now, I met the father and son 6 months ago. He was been chatting with me and he was been wandering around and comparing prices. He arrived in Sierra Leone. Yeah. 3 weeks ago. Father and son. And he was been deceived. He said the gold didn't arrive in Dubai. I said, why didn't it arrive? Oh, we've been offered $36,000 per kilo. And he gave the buyer, the seller, of $25,000 to pay taxes. So I was talking to the son and the father, a live video call. And I said to the father, what happened? Why are you in Sierra Leone? Oh, madam, I was being scammed. In what way? Oh, the gold didn't arrive in Dubai. I said, really? Why didn't arrive in Dubai? How much you paid to the seller? Oh, I paid taxes. I see. So you paid taxes $25,000. The gold is 10 kilos. Okay? So $36,000 times 10, $360,000. Uh-huh. And he paid only taxes, which is 2%. $72,000. But he only paid $25,000. Okay? 36,000. 36,000 times 2%. Oh, this is the tax. On 7%. On a 2% of CIF. So, the gold didn't arrive. Even though he paid $25,000 on $36,000 per kilo, it's not enough. So what happened? We called Wilhelmina together with their local agent from Sierra Leone. Can you imagine that? And I told this father and son, I am not here to solve your problem. I am not an agency. I am not here to solve your problem. You are creating your own problem, not me. And you know me, but you didn't buy gold from me because you wanted cheap price. You wanted to become rich. During the time the gold was 56, I think 56, 57, right, on the world market. They wanted to become instant millionaire. This buyer is Indian. Oh, Indians are notorious bargainer. So they failed. So that is the reason why, Mr. Buyer, do not travel if you have limited cash. Do not. Do not travel thinking you can get diamond or gold. And you were being promised, come to Sierra Leone, come to Mali, come to Ghana, come to Burkina Faso, come to Conakry. This is the price. Don't. Don't do that. Because you're going to fail 100% guarantee. Yes? 100%. So this video is a moral lesson to those buyer has been duped. Why you have been duped? Because you are greedy. You're a greedy man. You wanted to become rich, instant rich. Don't you know to mine gold is very hard? And you are trying to rip off the local miners for not paying the real price. So that you can become instant millionaire, so that you can get handsome profit. Be fair. Fair is fair. That is the reason why when you mention my name, you guys are allergic of my name. I don't know why you're allergic. I was talking to a gentleman in California. When I mentioned him that, you were talking with different brokers, and if you mention my name, your broker would be allergic. And he was been laughing. He said, yes, Wilhelmina, everybody knows you. But I love to chat with you, Wilhelmina, because I'm learning from you. I told him, I'm not here to teach you. Why should I teach you guys? Why should I give you my secret? This is hands-on. I've been in real estate. Nobody taught me. In Australia, when I'm in sales, I was given book to read. In real estate, you will not be hired if you don't have a real estate salesperson license. You will not. And the company would not train you. He will give you the thick book to read. Here's the sample of the contract. You follow it. I never ask question. But you guys, that's why I called you, sometimes, excuse my language, sometimes I call you a little bit of idiot. You pretend to be idiot. You don't need to be pretend. Because everything now is online. You can buy gold in Mali, in Sierra Leone, diamond and gold. It's on my virtual page. I created my online virtual page in order for the real buyer to see the actual, the video, the SKR. I will not release the SKR, but I put it online with SKR. Yes, we do have SKR, but I would not release it to any one of you. Why? You never know. You might sell the SKR and ask upfront to the buyer, and then you will run away. It happened. One of our seller in Sierra Leone many years ago. His name is John Camara. Okay, he has a broker from New York. His name is Charles. It was 6 years ago. And he gave the SKR of diamond. The buyer agent, all right, John Camara's broker, he asked $40,000 advance payment. And the buyer from New York complained. And this seller didn't receive the money. That is why I told every seller, the SKR is only for Wilhelmina to view. But don't release anybody the SKR. Do not. Unless the contract will be prepared and signed both buyers and seller, then that is the time we release the SKR. SKR is a very dangerous to float around. Very dangerous. I have the copy of the SKR. This buyer from United States 2.5, he was happy. We released the SKR. He saw the SKR. He verified the security company. The security company said yes, the 15 boxes of gold is here. He's happy. So that is the biggest transaction I have. 2.5 tons. So Mr. Buyer, you need gold in Conakry? We have 1.8 tons. You need gold in Mali? We have left over 3,360. You look at on my page. It says here. Okay. I'm gonna. Okay. 2.5 tons. The contract has been signed January 7. Turkey delivered December 11. February 15. It says here. February 15. Delivered in Dubai. Cash. Going back to Dubai. I know Dubai very much so. Every time I travel to Africa, I always stop over in Dubai. I stayed at Holiday Inn close to the airport. And when I travel to Africa, I always put online that Wilhelmina would be in Dubai, would be in Sierra Leone, would be in Conakry. So everybody wants to see me. I'm superstar. They want to see me because they want to buy gold. They want to buy diamond. So I interviewed buyers in Dubai. They were excited to see me. Yeah? Mostly are Indians. Indians gold lover. They have the shop in downtown Dubai, Gold Souk. And I was listening to our conversation. So I invited them to come with me at the restaurant at the Holiday Inn. So I give everyone 30 minutes of my time. So my first introduction, hello, I'm Wilhelmina from Australia. What can I do for you? So yeah, Wilhelmina, I saw you on YouTube and on Facebook. Oh, that's good. Wilhelmina, we are the buyer. I see. How long you been searching for gold? Oh, there's so many scammers. I start to wonder. So I told this Indian buyer, define me the word scam. Scam means dishonest. You and the other seller of yours that you were being scammed, both of you are dishonest. Why? Maybe you were asking cheap price. He was laughing at me. So yes, that's the reason why. Yeah, because gold is not cheap, and gold is not CIF. See? So immediately I got his information through watching his body language. And you know what he said? Well, Mina, you can tell your seller, bring the gold to Dubai, we will pay cash instant. I said, no, it wouldn't work. If you are a buyer, you should develop your business relationship in order for you to get the supply for long term. So after I explained it to him, he said, I have the buyer. Can you imagine that? In the beginning, he said, he is a buyer. So when I've given him the hint, you know how smart is Wilhelmina when I ask question. He said, I have the buyer. Oh, so therefore, he's a joker. Okay. So So he failed. Another buyer, an Indian, he come to see me. He showed me the contract. And I told him, oh, I just been to Sierra Leone. He's flying to Dubai. He said, Madam, I'm here for your advice. I said, really, I really don't give advice to anybody. You have to read and digest what the procedure and apply that to yourself. So he was very in a hurry. So the following day he flew to Sierra Leone. He encountered disaster. So I told him that I already briefed you that being a limited cash and you're asking CIF, it couldn't work. And he fell. And he went to Sierra Leone with his partner, and the seller paid the hotel accommodation of his partner. Can you imagine that? So I told this Indian again, oh my gosh, this Indian, please, if you are really hungry of these raw materials, make sure you have capital. Don't be involved in gold business if you have limited cash. Don't. I'm telling you, I am not here to pressure you to buy. No, I'm not. I am here to educate at the same time. Because you and me were being deceived as well. I was being deceived in Ghana. I was. I was being cheated in Ghana big time. So that is the reason why I am sharing you my bad experience and also your bad experience. So since then, I put everything online. I try to remove the bad stigma. Well, my transaction was successful. Yeah. Now, I'm waiting for vaccination, right? The buyer from United States, his representative will fly to Mali, but he can allow to travel from Trinidad. But me from Australia, we are not allowed to travel unless I would have a vaccination. Because when you're gonna have a vaccination here in Australia, immediately it would be registered in your phone. You can show it that vaccinated COVID-19. So I'm waiting for, I think, April, May. That's the time I could travel. I've been to Africa several times. So that is the reason why I'm explaining you guys here. Now, the full corporate offer is here. Please read it, digest it before you come to Elamina for a contract. Don't send me cut and paste LOI. It's not acceptable. That is solicitation. I want to see the seller, the buyer, address, email, telephone number, because I'm going to pick up the phone. Mr. Buyer, I received this LOI from Mr. Smith. Is that you, Mr. Buyer? Then we can do business. I am very, very negotiable. I will negotiate on your behalf. I will. So, Mr. Buyer, don't be scared. Deal with us. I'm telling you, 100% guarantee you will get the supply provided you have the capital, provided you can show us the proof of fund that you have $1 million. You will see the proof of product when you travel, when you inspect, then that is the proof of products. When you inspect the proof of products, when you're happy, then that is the time you make your down payment. It's not upfront. Remove the mentality of upfront. You inspect, you will get the receipt of your down payment based on the contract. Then the balance you have to transfer bank to bank. You're gonna stay in Africa 9 working days. Why? 3 working days to clear your payment bank to bank. Then after clearance, then that is the time the seller will prepare export documentation, commercial invoice, as a report. It says here, the ownership, attestation, custom clearance, insurance, and shipping costs. So you're gonna be charged shipping cost and insurance on the total sale value. So we will add that one on the price. There is no surprises. Before you travel, we will add the 2%, 1% of shipping cost, and 1% of insurance on the total sale value. We waive the tax. You already a winner. You already gain profit. So you're gonna say, oh, how could I get profit? You will get the profit. Because instead of paying the taxes of 3,500 per kilo, we remove that. So our selling price, tax included. But on the second shipment, we will review the pricing. You got my point now, Mr. Buyer? So, Mr. Buyer, I would not stay longer. I hope you understand what I'm explaining. Everything is on this video. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant good evening and take good care of yourself. Do something, Mr. Buyer. Look after yourself because of the coronavirus. Do something. Plan your trip before you say, well, Amina, I'm ready to travel. Plan it properly. Don't travel unprepared so that you will not be caught by any turbulence in business. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant good evening.